Cole Parker here with Maurice Freeman, the head football coach and athletic director of Brooks County High School, home of the Trojans. Coach, thanks for being here with me today.
No problem. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. So you've got a good bit of history here with Brooks County High School, and so walk me through that. What brought you here originally? I know you had a stint where you weren't here for a while, but you came back. What's that been like for you?
Man, I'm born and raised in Brooks County. This is my hometown, so it's always going to be a special place for me. I went to college at Florida A&M, started teaching in Bibb County, Macon, Georgia. Finally started to coach there also, and we went over to play Valdosta in the playoffs. They had Bryce Hunter and all those guys back in those days, and they were pretty doggone good. We lost, but a lot of folks from Brooks came over to see us play. And the next season, Coach Caldwell left, and they were looking for a coach, and somehow my name came up. And they called and said, hey, we got a job. And I was 27, 28 years old. And I said, man, I don't want to come home. I like Macon, and my plans were to be the next head coach at Northeast High School. So I was like, no, I'm not interested. And they got my mother involved, you know, golly. And she called and says, son, I want you to come home. No, I'm not coming home. No, I'm not interested in that. Well, these kids need you. I don't know those kids. Those kids don't know me. I'm teaching kids, so why do I have to teach there? Long story short, I ended up coming on the interview, and it was awful. The principal had on shorts. I had on a shirt and tie. I thought I was clean and ready, and he couldn't even get in the building. You know, he didn't have his keys or whatever, and it was just an awful interview. And my decision was no. This thing does not look right. I'm not going to do it. So I went back to Macon, and a week later, a few people, Clay Lee Phillips, Wendell Chisholm, a few others showed up to Macon to talk to me about the job, and they wore me thin with my mom, so I decided to go ahead and take the job. And I'm glad I took it, because the day that I left Macon was the day that it started raining of that flood in '94.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so when I left, it started raining and didn't stop raining for a week or so. So I got me out of Macon for that flood. But I had a lot of success here. Won a state title in '94. I stayed 4 years and decided, that I wanted to be an athletic director also, and I wanted to be at a larger school and see really what I could do. And it was a big raise too. It was about $16,000. So the money kind of knocked me off course because I was broke.
Sure.
So I ran with the money, which, looking back at it, I probably should have stayed. I probably should have done all my years here. But I went on to Southwest, was athletic director and head football coach. Stayed there 4 years, went to Brunswick, stayed there 6 years, and this job came back open again, and they didn't have to twist my arm this time. So I came back, brought my wife back, and the rest is history. We've been back for 9 years. So this is my 29th year, and I don't know how many years I'll teach, but I'm certainly happy. I'm happy to come to school every day and happy to be the head coach of the Trojans, happy to be the athletic director. So, hey, I guess I'll coach and teach as long as the Lord will let me.
Amen to that. And so you do have quite the storied history with Brooks County. Had to get Mama involved to make it all happen. Of course. And so now looking at the more recent history, I mean, how do you see this program evolving over time and where it is right now, athletically speaking, and your role in that development?
Well, football-wise, I think we'll continue with the success that we've had. We've been in the playoffs, second, third round every year, fourth round, quite a few. We've had a lot of success, and I'm certainly thankful for that. My desire is to get the athletic department, the athletic facilities up to par with everyone else in this area. So, we've got football and baseball still at the old school. And we've got tennis over at the stadium. So I want everything right here on Brooks County High School campus. So I've got a job to do, and that job is to get the facilities here and upgrade them and leave that as part of my legacy.
And so it is a very, very tough love brand of athletics in this part of the world, in this part of South Georgia, of course. And I love that in particular, but it also does bring with it a certain level of intensity and risk on the bodies, on the minds as well. And so I know a part of that is having an athletic trainer on staff. And in your words, in your mind, what is so important about having an athletic trainer as a part of this team and a part of this athletic program?
You've got to have a great head coach to be successful. You've got to have a great trainer to keep your kids on task and where they need to be and where they can properly practice, play, and get that body going and keep that body going. There's a certain amount of things that I can do as a head coach, but when a kid gets injured, then it's tough for me to do those things. You know, when it's 95 degrees outside and the wind is not blowing, and you know, I need that trainer there to say, hey coach, nah, it's not a good time. You know, he's looking out for every player. I'm worried about practice and I'm worried about getting these guys ready, but he's looking out for their well-being. And I need that. I've got to have that. When a kid goes down, I need a guy that's properly qualified. Yes, I've taken these classes. Yes, I'm certified in these things, but this is his livelihood. This is what he does. This is what Vereen does. This is what they specialize in. So I trust them and I know they're going to take care of my players so that I can do the best job as a football coach, and they'll do the rest as far as keeping these young people where they can play. And if they are injured, and we've had some major injuries, we had 2 ACLs this year. Now, and those 2 guys are back already, and this is spring semester, and they're ready to participate in athletics again. I can't do that, but they can, and they have done, and they've come over here and trained these kids and got these kids prepared and rehabilitated them. So they are my MVP.
And so take me back to before you had an athletic trainer on staff. Maybe you can remember what that was like. I remember how it was in my playing days, in which we had a staff, but then coaches trying to step in and fill that void a lot of the times. Was it like that for you?
Yes, in '94 when I coached here, I was the head coach. I was the offensive line coach. I was the defensive coordinator, and I was the trainer. So Vereen coming in and saying, hey, I can take over these things, man, you just saved my life, saved my job too.
Well, Coach, we certainly love you, love the direction that you've taken Brooks County, and will continue to do so, and we really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us today.
Well, don't forget, we're going to bring that helmet. Go Trojans.